Christmas is a wonderful time of year. The most thrilling part of Christmas for a lot of kids in the US, especially the ones who have behaved well all year, is finding wrapped gifts under the tree and candy concealed in stockings near the mantle. Children are frequently informed that Santa Claus left the gifts on his yearly, nighttime voyage across the globe in a sleigh drawn by 9 reindeer. How is it that so many people have accepted this story? Was Santa Claus real, and who was he? Whether you think Santa Claus is a genuine person who comes to children's houses through chimneys to give gifts or not, the origins of both the myth and the custom of distributing gifts may be found in the Dutch colonists. They brought the story of Sinterklaas and the tradition of leaving gifts for the kids on December 6th Eve with them when they moved to what is now New York City in the 17th century. From there, Sinterklaas was changed from a holy bishop to the white-bearded, red-capped Santa Claus that is known to Americans today via 19th-century literary masterpieces like the poem The Night Before Christmas and a mid-20th century Coca-Cola propaganda effort. However, who is Sinterklaas, the elderly man clad in a bishop's robe who presents gifts to Dutch kids in the first part of December? He is modeled after St.Nicholas of Myra, who was a bishop in that little Roman town in the 4th century, according to Christian tradition. Legends of Nicholas's miracles for the underprivileged and despondent sprang from his reputation for kindness and generosity. In one narrative, 3 children who had been hacked up by a butcher and placed in barrels of pickling brine were brought back to life by Nicholas via prayer. According to a different version, a young Nicholas gave 3 girls whose poverty would have forced them into prostitution a covert bridal dowry by discreetly dropping gold down their chimneys. The gold ended up in a stocking that was allowed to dry on the hearth. Today, December 6th is recognized as Nicholas's feast day in honor of his passing. His purported remains were taken to Bari, Italy, in 1087 from his church in Myra. His shrine later produced a liquid fluid believed to have medicinal qualities, which contributed to the site's popularity as a pilgrimage destination. During the course of the 2nd millennium, these legends about St. Nicholas expanded and blended with other customs and the exploits of another St. Nicholas of Sion, making him just as legendary as Santa Claus is today. But a number of historians tried to separate the myth from the real Nicholas during the 20th century. After doing more research, they began to question the bishop's very existence. He had no disciples and left no writings behind. There are no manuscripts from the time that contain his name. The first biography was published over 300 years after his supposed death, and the earliest reference is about 200 years old. While the uncertainty surrounding his existence was reflected in revised entries on Nicholas in books of saints, several historians maintained that St. Nicholas had lived and had performed many acts of kindness and generosity. They argued that a lack of documentation during his lifetime was not proof of his absence, and called for a reconsideration of the texts that had been disregarded. Other devotees assert that the construction of churches dedicated to him during the early Middle Ages is evidence enough. The 2017 dating to the 4th century of a piece of pelvic bone attributed to St. Nicholas offers a tantalizing piece of the puzzle. Interestingly, St. Nicholas's alleged remains at Bari are missing part of a pelvic bone. The arguments and discoveries offer some compelling reasons not to completely disregard Nicholas's existence. So after all is said, can we determine if Santa Claus was a real person? The answer depends on whether you believe. Nonetheless, Christmas and Santa Claus is a magical holiday. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching all the way through.